Okay, today's the 1st of August. All of our Seascape strawberries, since they stopped production, 3 weeks ago, have blossomed and began fruiting again. See the blossoms? They just started blossoming up. First crop in June was done about 3 weeks ago, I'd say. And then there wasn't much out here. You couldn't, in the 3 60-foot rows we have, you could barely pick a pound every, two or a couple of times a week. But now the plants again have blossomed and they are loaded and they're starting to ripen. They've probably been ripe for a week or so, but we see tons and tons of fruit out here. We've been picking. So 1st of August, here they all come again. Look at all the fruit. Big, beautiful strawberries. And remember, these plants were planted on the 3rd of April. And there were no leaves. All they were was a little root. Tons of strawberries. All down the row, just like that. I could pick 30 pounds this morning. Because we have a huge birthday party this afternoon with all the grandkids and grandma. We're leaving them so that the kids can have fun helping pick. On this side of the strawberry patch, a friend of ours decided he wanted to take some runners home. So he has taken these runners. You can see runners come out, send out their little daughters. This particular runner has 2 plants on it, and they start rooting, but there's no dirt to plant in since there's carpet and plastic here. And so they just keep sending. Look at that, it's got 3. 1, 2, 3, actually 4 on that particular runner. And what he's done is he's taken the runner and set them in pots. Right there. And they're starting to grow already. That's got 2 or 3 new leaves coming out of the middle since he's planted it there. He comes over every morning, sometimes both morning and evening, and uses a water can to water them because there's no real good way in 60 feet here to water them. A couple of days ago we had a nice little rainstorm that came through and rained on things. Look how huge this plant is coming up out of there. So he doesn't really need to leave these any longer, but he may not have time to deal with them over at his house. But he can cut that runner off now. He can take that runner that goes back to the plant there, and he can snip that right here. Just snip it and take this plant home, and it will be it'll operate all by itself now. Yep. Be its own little strawberry plant. Now, because some of these runners have little white roots on them, they're at a stage where you can actually clip the runner and take it somewhere and plant it, and as long as you keep it moist and keep the direct sun off of it, they will root easily. You don't need to plant them like this, but it's sure a lot easier. And every one of these down the road, you can see all of them down there. Some are terracotta colored pots and some are black pots, all the way down the road. Every one of these will be successful. But if you cut the runner off and don't use a pot attached to the plant like we have here, then you may not be successful with every plant, but you're going to be very successful anyway. He has almost 100 plants there in his little pots. So we're pretty excited about the progress of our strawberry patch, and they're so dark green and pretty. Just really gorgeous plants this year. Then this October, November, they will die back. The greens will die back and they will become dormant through the winter time when things are 5 degrees and 10 degrees and minus 10 degrees. Not minus 10 degrees very often, but it gets down to 0 degrees, and it's very commonly 10 and 15, 20 degrees. So they don't grow at all in the winter time. But next March, they will begin to green up. And in the June crop, in the main June crop, we will have hundreds and hundreds of pounds of fruit from a very mature plant. Look at it, look at them go. Wow, look at all the fruit. And there's big old strawberry. These are Seascape. So next year's June crop will start with a 2-year-old plant, and they will be extremely mature and very powerful plants. They will produce the June crop just like they did this year. Then they will stop, blossom again, fruit again in August, stop again, just because the fruiting cycle runs out of fruit. It will have to blossom again in September, and sometimes we get 4 crops and sometimes we only get 3 crops. Then after next year's season, these plants in the 3rd year will come out, and we will replace them with brand new plants again. And that's because in the 3rd year, the plants will produce little tiny berries. So from one crown, now after 4 months, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crowns there, and it's possible that you could prune some of those crowns off in the beginning of the 3rd year and save the plant, and we may even try that. That's not a bad experiment to try, and actually save these plants 1 more year or 2. Since it's something we haven't tried, I don't know how well it would work. But in the 3rd year, instead of 7 or 8 or 10 crowns, there's 20 crowns on the top of each of these plants, and the berries are just so small because the roots can't support 20 plants coming up out of the same root. We normally take these runners out of the center of the row and prune them back to the plants, but since our friends are using the runners, we've left them this year, and none of these have been pruned off. This side looks a lot cleaner because one of the people doing runners actually takes them home and plants them, and they grow without potting. Just cuts them off and takes them right home and plants them.